In this video, we're going to take a look at the Philips Hue Canless downlights. These are also known as pancake lights, and they're really cool because you don't have to have a junction box or a can to use them. You just need to make a 6.1 inch hole and you can install them pretty much anywhere in a ceiling, even directly under dimensional lumber. I've wanted Hue to come out with these lights for a long time, and they're still relatively new and I haven't seen too many videos about them. So in this video, we're going to talk about all the different features they have, what the installation is like, and if I would recommend buying these, or if you should just stick to buying a smart switch. Canless pancake lights are becoming really popular both in renovations and in a lot of new construction because you're able to save money and time over buying all the different junction boxes and cans that are needed. Honestly, the biggest inconvenience with these though is you can have insulation above them, but if you ever need to go adjust or install the light, you're going to be dumping insulation out of your ceilings. But the positive of these is you can use them pretty much anywhere. You just need to make a 6.1 inch cutout, and they can sit flush with your ceiling even if there's a joist or rafter directly above them. These lights function exactly like any other Philips Hue light. You can control the color temperature, the color, the brightness, all using the Philips Hue app. You can either control up to 10 of them at a time with Bluetooth, or you can buy a Hue bridge. That allows you to use voice control through smart home providers, to control them out of home, and to use up to 50 of them at a time. These lights are fully compatible with Apple HomeKit, Amazon Alexa, and Google Home, all if you have the Philips Hue bridge. So I definitely recommend budgeting the extra $50 or so to buy the bridge if you're going to get into these lights. These lights come in at about $70 each, which is pretty expensive for a pancake light, but there's no other lights I've been able to find like this on the market that are this high quality and that integrate with HomeKit or the Philips Hue ecosystem as well as these do. Hue also has a ton of remotes and motion sensors that you're able to set up with these. You can also set up routines. You can change the color temperature throughout the day to match the mood or the environment. There's just a lot of custom functionality that's built into Hue light bulbs that's not built into your everyday smart bulb or especially a pancake bulb. If you're interested in buying these bulbs or any of the accessories we're talking about in this video, be sure to check the links in the description below. Another thing I really like about these is Philips just does a great job with both the color accuracy and rendering of their lights and the colors and all the different color temperatures that you can set them up with. I've just found them to be some of the best smart bulbs on the market in terms of what the actual light looks like. The biggest drawback of using these is every single bulb you want to control is going to need to be a bulb. If you just go with the smart switch, you can just replace one switch and you're able to control a whole bank of lights at the same time. But the nice thing about this is you can individually control every single light. So if you want one light in a room to be on and the rest to be off, you're still able to use that by having these Hue lights. If you use a smart switch, it's an all or nothing. Everything on that bank of a smart switch is all going to be controlled at the same time. Let's go over some of the tech specs of these lights. The CRI is 90 and the brightness is about 1200 lumens at 4000 kelvins. If you go with a warmer or a cooler color temperature, then your brightness is going to considerably drop. And if you use saturated colors, you're also going to find that these lights are quite a bit more dim than using them at 4000 kelvins. The lights come in at 15 watts and you can adjust the color temperature from 2000 kelvins all the way up to 6500 kelvins, so they can go really warm and really cool. And I found that Hue always does a great job with the different white color temperatures of lights, where some of the other brands I've used in the past, the whites always look a little yellow or blue and they don't look like a pure white. These lights are IC rated, so you can even use them with contact insulation. And again, you don't have to worry about using a box or any kind of can with these lights. When you get the lights out of the box, you're going to find that they have instructions, and the serial number is printed on the driver, and the serial number is also on a little instruction manual inside the box too. So I recommend either taking a picture of all the serial numbers on the drivers on your phone, or also just make a pile of all the different instruction manuals that come with these, because you might need that serial number later on if you're having any issues with the light and you don't want to go up and take it down to reset it. It's really easy to wire these up. I'm not an electrician, but to set them up, you do get the push-in connectors, so you're able to put your wire in there. Also, whenever you're installing lights, be sure you shut the power off. Find the correct breaker and use the tester to make sure that your circuits are not live when you start connecting and disconnecting lights. So you just strip it to the correct length, match the different wires up, and push them in the connector. Now you do need to take the knockouts out, and you also need to use a knockout bushing. You also see the drivers have 2 screw holes on them already. Some codes make you actually mount them to your ceiling, so just check with your code and don't just throw it in the attic if that's not allowed. Once you get the driver wired up, you can attach the light to it using the push-in connector with the screw, and then you just use the clips, push them in, insert the light into your ceiling, and then it just snaps into place. If it's not fitting flush, you might just have to wiggle it around a little bit or give it a nice push, and it should attach to your drywall. Now, I didn't have any issues with these damaging my drywall, but you do want to be careful, especially around the outside cutout of your opening. They also call for a 6.1 inch cutout on your ceiling. Philips does not give you a template with this, which I think is kind of annoying, but most home improvement stores have a special drill bit for installing these kind of canless lights. So I would look into buying one of those and also buy one of the dust catchers as well, because if you cut these out of the ceiling, you're gonna make a ton of drywall dust. Once you get the lights installed and tested, to set them up, all you need to do is get the Philips Hue app on your phone, go to the lights section, click the plus, and then search for the light. You can put the serial number in if you're having a hard time finding the lights, but I didn't have to put the serial number in. It found all 4 of the lights for my office in just a minute, and then I was able to quickly configure them, add them to a room, and set them up in a zone as well so I could control those lights separately from the rest of the room. I also bought the Hue dimmer switch so that I can control the lights and change the different brightnesses and color temperatures of them very easily. I've been having a lot of fun setting up different scenes for my office with these lights. The biggest drawback to these canless lights is they cost $70 each. So if you need to buy 4, 6, or 8 lights, they can add up really fast. So I would only recommend buying these if you really want to have all the different customization with the color temperatures, the routines, the different colors that you can set them, and if you're gonna do a lot with dimming. The dimming on these lights is so smooth, especially when you compare it to your typical smart switch that's going into other lights. And you know they're gonna work great because the dimmer is built directly into the light. So this is a really nice feature that the lights have, but you definitely pay for it because most of your standard canless lights come in anywhere from $20 to $30, or sometimes even less, and you can buy a smart switch for about $20 to $30 as well. Philips does give you a 2-year warranty on these lights, and they're supposed to have a lifespan of up to 10 years, so they should last you a decently long time. My thoughts on the lights is they're really expensive, but they're also really cool. I held off on buying them for a long time because I knew they would be pretty costly, but I've been really impressed with the amount of brightness that you get out of them, as well as just the richness of the colors and the abilities to use all the different color temperatures throughout the day. I've actually got them set to a blue color right now to just throw a little bit of light into the background with my other accent lights. And I think it adds a lot to my videos. Another thing I did notice about these, some of the colors will flicker a little bit on camera, but not as bad as some of the other Philips Hue lights, especially the bulbs. The bulbs are really known for flickering on camera. So should you buy the Philips Hue Canless smart lights? I think it depends. If you got the money to blow on them and if you really appreciate this kind of tech, I would say go for it because they're honestly really fun. The colors look great. I just really enjoy having them personally. But if you're looking to do a ton of lights in a large house, then it's probably going to be more economical to just use smart switches and standard bulbs. But you're going to lose out on the ability to change the color and color temperature through the day, and your dimming is not going to be as smooth as it is with these lights. So they're definitely amazing lights, but they come at a great cost. So if you're interested in buying any of these Philips Hue downlights or any of my other favorite Philips Hue lights or accessories, check the description below because I'm going to leave a lot of links there. If you have any other questions about these lights, leave a comment down below. I'll do my best to answer them.